Hello everyone and welcome to another Timeless video. So today we're going to be taking a look at Affinity deck in Timeless format. So with the new set from the special guest, we got this card called Frogmite. Unfortunately, this card is a mythic rarity because it's from special guest, and I have crafted 4 copies of this so that you don't have to, and I'm going to be testing this deck in Is It Color. So why Is It Color? So recently, from Modern Horizon 3, a card that came out that basically power crept the other Mirror Enforcer, called the Frog Mirror Enforcer, happens to have a prototype cost that requires a red mana. So this is actually a really flexible card that you can use to bridge the gap into being able to cast these really expensive affinity cards. So the option to play the prototype cost is actually very relevant. So along with Frogmite and the Frog Mirror Enforcer, letting you play these cards early is going to let us play Kappa Cannoneers early, Thought Monitors early, and we're also going to be able to play the 7 mana Frog Mirror Enforcer early. And that is also going to let us create a bunch of army with the Simulacrum synthesizers as well. And because this is timeless and not modern, we do have access to Retrofitter Foundry, which is going to let us sacrifice the Ornithopters into a 4/4. And because we are in color now, since we are Is It, we get to also play Yodia Declares War, which is going to also create an Ornithopter for the Retrofitter. But this can also act as a removal spell in Chapter 2, or if you really need to kill something early, you can even read ahead into Chapter 2 into killing a creature as well. But we're also playing this card called Legion Extruder, which is also an artifact that deals 2 damage to any target. This might seem a little bit expensive as a removal spell, but not only is this an artifact, but because we are playing an Affinity deck, the cost of playing this card is actually a lot lower than what it seems to be. So having said that, I'm going to be hopping over to some Timeless Best of 3 to show you guys how the deck does. So let's hop on over. Okay, let's try this out. I guess I gotta keep it, right? Ketria Triumph into an Otawara. Elusive Otter. Prowess decks. Interesting. I mean, this is just... What is this nonsense here? One lander, by the way. So they can grow to a 3 power. That's not going to be enough. Two mana. No, I can't play it. Help. I need a land. I need a land. Oh, that's pretty nice. So should I zap this thing or the otter? I mean, they could have something here, so I guess I should just zap this instead. Still one lander. If I had more creature, maybe I should have just... Actually, I should have played this. I don't know, actually. Because now it lets me play a 4/4/4, right? So maybe not. I mean, so next turn we play Kappa Cannoneer. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I bet this deck actually does okay versus energy deck, but our deck is just big fat creatures every single turn, you know? Because a lot of their spells are... Oh, wow. That's pretty good. I think I'll take the damage because I really want to get this out. Do I have time to get this out? The Simulacrum instead? I'm gonna say no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have another expressive iteration, so I'm a little worried. Like, can they kill me with just one creature? I can block one with the Kappa Cannoneer. I don't really want to lose it, though. Let's just sit back. This one lander business, though, is killing me. Jesus. Wow. Okay, looks like opponent surrenders because I didn't take their bluff. This is Teamer. I'm guessing the green is a very light splash, so this actually might have Blood Moon in the sideboard. I'll bring some Haywire Mites, but I think that's about it. I'll probably cut Moonstare Prototype. I like their deck. Teamer Prowess. One. I guess I'll just play this out. Yeah, that is insane, by the way. If you start an Ornithopter Retrofitter, Artifact Land, and a Springleaf Drum, Frogmite comes online on turn 1. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Yoink. Oh, this is over. I'd rather want to attack instead of setting up. Should I set up the Springleaf Drum? I'll just go Yoria War. Because I'd rather want to attack with the construct, right? There could be a Brotherhood's End as well, if they have one in the sideboard. That would be kind of rough. Okay, never mind. It's a cool deck though. I actually really like their deck. I'm guessing they're also playing that new Otter. Might be a mulligan. This one looks a lot better. What did I bottom? Oh, yeah, it's a tap land, so I can't go Simulacrum anyways. So we can kill the Guide Up Souls next turn, which is cool. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. I think people are really new to Retrofitter. Now I gotta make a choice, right? So I can technically tap the Darksteel Citadel and Retrofitter, but that means I'm not doing anything this turn. I'd rather just give them an Oscillate Pride token. And set up a Simulacrum. Ooh. That would have been really good if we could actually set that up, but they had a Ragavan. Ooh. 1, 2, 3. I don't think we can play this, right? Otherwise, we can't play the Kappa Cannoneer here. Now we're just looking for like a Shadow Spear, and this game is over. We are playing 2 copies of Shadow Spear, so interesting. So block this, and then we kill a Johnny, right?
There is no world where my
So that's good. Oh. I think this is over. Attack there and attack there. I mean, that was an insane draw, by the way. What a great top deck. Maybe I should have just gone face. No, 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 no. That's probably bad because a Johnny can kill me.
I have failed you, brother.
I mean, they gotta go face because otherwise they're gonna die in 2 turns. I mean, they're probably dead anyways. I mean, actually, also the Pride is making a lot of tokens. $15, $17, $18. I can do maximum of 19 damage right now, but I can't kill them. Darn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I don't see the point of attacking with this dot monitor at all. Looks like this game is over. Block. Block. I believe everything is blocked except 1 damage coming through, right? Nice. This is why we actually have 2 copies of Shadow Spear. We might actually even want more copies of Shadow Spear in the sideboard. To be perfectly fair. Graph Digger's Cage in. Soul Guy Lantern in. What do we get rid of? We can't get rid of these 2. Yori Declares War and Legion's Extruder. Haywire Might is nice. It gets rid of a Static Prison. Maybe I'm gonna go down on a copy of a Simulacrum. That could be wrong. And I'll go down on a Frogmite Enforcer. By the way, this sideboard bug still exists, so... Turn 1... Oh my god, what is this? Hold up. I mean, I can get things out really fast. But that's really about it. Let's try it out. I mean, it looks fun, right? It does look really fun, this hand. The problem here is if they have enough energy, they can make Ragavan fly or something like that, and that sounds kind of miserable, honestly. I really want that Guide of Souls to die. Ah, they have it. I hope opponent does not see the line here. Nope, they literally do. No, that's exactly... Actually, I mean, I didn't have the mana to do it anyways. Hmm... Discharge. Ah, they have another one. I think that's it, honestly. Yeah, play that Graph Digger's Cage. Okay. I really want to kill that Ragavan, but I can't. So we'll try this one again. Okay, so City's Blessing, they're gonna make more tokens. What should I do? I mean, I'm taking a lot of damage. 2, 3, 4, 5. But I feel like getting rid of an Oscillate Pride might be... Long term, you're taking less damage. I messed up. I accidentally did something completely different. I was gonna sacrifice and then block, but yeah. Because Oscillate Pride technically did 3 damage this turn because it's going to create 2 of them. Hmm. Yeah, I think this game is over, no matter how I see it. Because they're gonna keep attacking. Try that again. Try that again. We found a retro. Hmm. There's a lot of 1 mana cards and 0 mana cards. We'll start with the retro. One, two. Gonna leave up a blocker for Ragavan. Untapped land would be the best card to draw, but I know this deck doesn't really play that many untapped lands, so... Yeah, my opponent has a really good start again. God of Soul start is just so hard to deal with. Maybe that's actually a reason to play more removal spells in the sideboard. But I feel like a deck like ours, it's just so important to go as fast as possible. The first game was really good, but doesn't look like we're gonna be winning here. Yeah, my opponent had multiple Guide of Souls every single game, which is a bit rough. What is this? Yeah, this is the most important card that you have to get rid of. And this time around, we haven't drawn into any Legion Excluders or Yodia Declares War. GG's. Sure. I'm gonna go with the Tangle Bridge. Thoughtseize coming out. Oh. Okay. That's kind of spicy. I could kill this right now, but... I don't know, like the mirror burn deck? Like, that is that even a thing? I should just set up a retrofitter. Ragavan. Okay. We can pay for a Spell Pierce. Ooh. I think we're gonna win. Shadow Spear, Kappa Cannoneer. Another Ragavan. Balok. Why did it take so many clicks? Like, what? Why can't I play this? 4 artifacts. Blue. I mean, there's no way they have a counter spell. And Kappa Cannoneer is kind of buggy. It says I couldn't auto-cast this, by the way. But I clearly could, right? They're not playing Loris is what I was gonna say, but they do. Also, I can't return to the sideboard, and my opponent surrenders. Okay. Watery Grave. It's a scam deck. They clearly have a grief at the moment. I'm gonna run out the Retrofitter because that's gonna be really good against them. My opponent is setting up really hard here, and I think they actually kind of got a little bit too greedy, I feel like. Can I somehow play this Thought Monitor here? 1, 2. I don't know, that seems kind of nasty. I do lose out on this Simulacrum, but I feel like we have a pretty decent shot at fighting through this. They're gonna reanimate something here. I think we can race them. They have to grief again, so yeah. Yeah, there you go. I knew my opponent had a grief, and they should have actually used it last turn. Unless the only black card they had was reanimate. Now, do you attack? Since they could have like a fatal push. Is this a bait? I mean, I gotta try, right? Okay. Getting back Satoru here. This would have happened anyways, right? Because there is a Satoru in the graveyard. They would have just sacrificed a Satoru. I mean... That's just game, right? We have a Retrofitter plus a Kappa Cannoneer, so it's always going to grow. And become unblockable. Hey. Pitting Needle in. And we still have the Graph Digger's Cage from last game that we put it in. Oh, not Pitting Needle, excuse me. Soul Guy Lantern and Graph Digger's Cage that we put it in from last sideboard happens to be in this sideboard, so... Oh my god, this game, man. Why is it like that? Why is it like that? So buggy. So buggy. This would have been actually an insane hand. But we got a mulligan. Stitcher Supplier. Oh my god. Don't call me lucky. Because if I was really lucky, this would have been a Darksteel Citadel. Ooh, Psychic Frog. I don't think I actually, because I'm not going to be attacking with this anyways. Interesting. My opponent had a Flare of Malice. Good play. That was actually a really good play. I shouldn't have played this and just play out the Springleaf Drum to see what they would do. Because now we need to draw a land. Ooh, that's actually really perfect. Yeah, they had a really good hand. Bowmaster. I can't really block this. Okay, next game. Their start was just way too good. The Flare of Malice start plus oh, they even had like 3 reanimates. My god. Let's try that again. I mean, if there's nothing in the hand, how can they What are they gonna do? Yeah, they're gonna surrender because there's nothing in my hand. Okay, so there's a lot of bug at the moment in Best of 3. So as you can see here, I just finished my session and now I'm in the deck building screen. And you can see that like we don't have a single sideboard card. And if I try to exit, it'll say, do you want to save this deck? So it's not actually saved yet. So if you just exit the client without saving and then come back in, and as you can see here, we have the full sideboard plus the correct main board as well. But when you're actually playing the deck, as long as you don't go to deck building screen like this, it'll remember your main board. But it's only when you go to the sideboard during the sideboarding, that's when it remembers your previous game's sideboarding and has all the cards that you actually sideboarded. So that's one thing to keep note if you're playing best of 3 at the moment. So this deck actually kind of surprised me. It was actually decent. Some of the turns that were explosive were just kind of unfair explosive. Now, obviously, we did lose to an energy deck, which is the tier 1 deck at the moment, but we actually took a game off of them as well. So that's actually a pretty good sign. I feel like because this deck plays a lot of tap lands like this, it might be a good idea to have some removal spells in the sideboard. So for example, a card that comes to mind, Voltage Surge. It actually might be 4 copies of Voltage Surge, or maybe just 2 copies of it. The reason why this is actually pretty important, being able to deal 4 damage if need be, is because of this card, Guide of Souls. Because if you pump it, it becomes a 3/4, which is kind of hard to deal with. Otherwise, normally I would actually play a Portable Hole, but because of this card, Frogmite Enforcer, we can't really play Portable Hole with this artifact land base. So you either play like maybe 2 copies of Voltage Surge, and I feel like you do need 3 copies of Disruptor Flute versus like Show and Tell. We don't need this many Test of Talents. I feel like Haywire Might is okay, but it's definitely a card you can cut as well. Maybe 4 copies of Metallic Rebuke is too much, so maybe I would do something like this if I were to play again. Because every time Guide of Souls went unanswered, we lost the game, so... Or actually, instead of a Voltage Surge, we could just play Galvanic Discharge as well. I mean, like, why not? Because the first time you kill the Guide of Souls, you're going to be left with 1 energy, right? If you Galvanic Discharge. And the next one is going to be able to deal 4 damage total, so... Yeah, maybe we just play Galvanic Discharge and just have 2 copies of there. And yeah, I think the deck actually kind of surprised me. There were times, like I said, like the explosiveness was kind of nuts. Like turn 1, either the Springleaf Drum, Boonster Prototype into an Ornithopter Retrofitter. Let's say you started with the Darksteel Citadel. You can get a Frogmite down on turn 1. That is insane. And we also got to see like one game with the Simulacrum Synthesizer, which was actually sick. I believe we won 2 games off of a Kappa Cannoneer as well. So obviously a really strong card. As for the Shadow Spear, I feel like you might need more copies of Shadow Spear, just because like against a Boros Energy, this might be a mandatory card in beating them. But I don't know, like more than playing more than 2 copies might be a little bit like pushing it. And obviously the overpriced Frogmite was incredible. Really cool art, just that it is a mythic rarity for some reason. And Yodia Declares War and Legion Extruder. Yodia is actually really nice for this deck because it sets up for removal and it also gives you an Ornithopter for the Retrofitter. So even though it's an enchantment, it gives you an artifact, which is really cool. And you can also like have an option to go to the chapter 2 immediately to deal damage. And chapter 3, not very useful if you're playing against like creature decks, but sometimes it can be very handy versus like control or Omnitel if you really want to deal a lot of damage. Yeah, Yodia declares war, very good. I'm trying out the Legion Excluder. This is not a card that I've actually played before, but it's a really cool artifact that deals 2 damage to any target. It can become pretty handy. It may seem overpriced, but because we're playing Affinity, it's actually not. Since you can go like Legion Excluder, Thought Monitor, or Legion Excluder, Frogmire, or Frogmite in a single turn, and we've actually seen this happen multiple times. So, there's also Mirror Enforcer you could play. You could play both if you wanted to, like especially like if you don't have a Kappa Cannoneer, that's also a possibility. Don't know if you can really replace a Frogmite. This card is just too good. It really does bridge the gap between a 4-mana card and a 7-mana card for your affinity creatures. Playing early Frogmite lets you play the Frogmire Enforcer without the prototype cost or thought monitors. And it can even help cast the Kappa Cannoneer pretty early, so it's a little bit unfortunate that this is a mythic rarity, which is kind of insane. But yeah, this is a must if you want to play an affinity style deck. So there's really no replacement for this, unfortunately. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.